Hello there, and welcome everyone to a new episode of Rantz. It's actually doing a live one this time, and it's Crisandro, of course. And to my left, you can see there, Bill. How you doing?
Right. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Not too bad. It's well, as the title shows at the bottom there, that was the week that was, and what a really, really weird week it has been. It's what can we say? I mean, first came the announcements on the Sunday that 12 clubs had broken away from their respective leagues to join the European Super League, and we were and we happened to be one of them, which is kind of strange. And then, 24 hours later, Jose Mourinho's handed his sandwiches in the newspaper wrapping, or what they're saying is, where he's been fired, which seemed really odd when you consider that, especially when tomorrow is a FA Cup, a League Cup final, and then 48 hours after all that grandstanding, 9 of the 12 clubs have withdrawn their participation in the Super League. So weird. And then the fallout from from then on has been absolutely, well, just can't get a head around that. I mean, we're kind of used to Spurs being in a circus for most of the time, but it is kind of strange when it just kind of happens like that. I mean, what's your take on that, Bill? I mean, now you'll be kind of keeping away from football matters until the final, really. So, what do you understand?
So it seems, strange to get rid of Mourinho, and I wouldn't say it's a surprise that Tottenham Hotspur and the so-called other teams were trying to break away into this European Super League. It's just disappointing that whenever a decision like this is made, it involves, I think, 3 parties: the fans, of course, the football club, and of course, they're saying that thirdly, some type of warning. They're saying they've been planning this for years, like 2 years. I don't know. I don't know about Spurs, but I think, was it Real Madrid I think it was Real Madrid. He was saying, well, he'll do whatever it takes to go ahead with it. Yeah, disappointed with the sacking of Jose. Disappointed with this, disappointed with the actual board and Daniel Levy, because it seems like is he's doing what a businessman would do, try and make as much money. And if you think about it, I think the way it works, it's not even you don't even get to qualify via merit. You just get picked to join. I know over time other teams will join. I think we were saying 2 or 3 teams at a time to do with qualifying through something.
Yeah, let's break it down a little bit, actually, how it was all supposed to work. Well, as we know, there were supposed to be 15 founding members of this European Super. Well, it's called the Super League, and I know that everyone's been stylizing it as the European Super League, but it's kind of telling that the titling only just says the Super League, which we'll get onto in a little bit, because I think there's a little bit more to it than that, really, a little bit more to what the suggest for the tournament. Obviously, it's supposed to be 15 founder members, but only 12 at the moment, and that includes the 6 from England, of which Spurs are 1, and you also include Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Liverpool. Is the one I missed out? Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, Manchester United, Manchester City. Oh, yeah, that's all 6. And then you had 3 clubs from Spain: Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. And it's telling that we'll talk about the teams that are still pressing ahead with it. And then from Italy, you had Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Juventus. Those were the 12, and there's supposed to be 3 other teams that are supposed to join. They're supposed to join in, and well, it sounds like they all kind of said, not pulled out, also said no, they weren't going to do it. And those teams are believed to be amongst Bayern Munich, obviously, Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, Roma, Benfica as well. Those sides all said no, they didn't want to take part. So they were still kind of scrambling around trying to find these other 3 founding members. And then when it was announced on the Sunday, the timing of the announcement was strange in itself, really, because all the announcements happened at around about 11 o'clock at night on the Sunday night.
Yeah.
Which was strange. 11 o'clock on the Sunday night. UK time this is, so I'm trying to think of how it would work or where they would have actually brought. Would they brought, because I know that the main driving force were the American owners of Manchester United and Liverpool. I know that they're based in America, so maybe they were doing it around about 6 o'clock their time, so more evening time, but it just happens to
6 o'clock their time. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, 6.
So that's probably why it was so late in the announcement. And then that was literally just what it was. It was just an announcement. Nothing from the clubs to say, hi there, we've got this little idea we want to pitch for you. We want to go and break away into this little tournament. What do you guys think of it? Nothing of that. Nothing of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the bit that, that's what that kind of sticked, really. And then we saw the backlash from UEFA, from FIFA, pretty much saying, you go ahead with this and you're banned from Europe. You go ahead with this, your players are banned from taking part in the World Cup. You go ahead with this, and you can't take part in the Premier League or Serie A or vice versa, so on and so forth. And it was still, there was no talk. Still, there's nothing that came from that. There was literally no one saying a word, apart from Florentino Perez, who made a really strange statement and kind of escapes me the exact word that he used, but it really was just kind of like, this is what we're going to do, like it or lump it. And Joel Blazer also piped in as well, but his contribution was nothing. And then we saw the protests. Well, mostly, it's kind of like Anglo-centric, because there might have been protests elsewhere, but having known what the fans are like in Spain and Italy, probably not that many protests, maybe. But there was definitely protests in England. We saw the Chelsea fans do an actual sit-in on the King's Road, and that was a sight to see. We've seen the Arsenal fans, we saw the Manchester United fans, we saw the Liverpool fans, and we saw also the Spurs fans. Kind of a smaller number, then started building up. Saw Spurs fans, everyone protesting, did not want a piece of this. Did not want a piece of this. And then what was it? I think Perez comes out and says that that each club has signed a 23-year contract. The founding members have signed a 23-year contract, so they will never get relegated in this tournament. That's really the only thing that we kind of know about how this whole thing's made up. That's literally, that's all. Those 12 clubs will be in there, or it should be 15, but 12 at the moment. They will be in there no matter what. It's like 23-year contract on that. And then it was around about then that we actually started seeing the sides pulling out. Manchester City were the first to pull out around about 11 o'clock p.m., a couple of 48 hours later. And then Chelsea, I think, a few minutes later after that. And then the rest kind of like fell, mostly English clubs. Then you saw Arsenal pull out. And it's telling that when Liverpool pulled out, I know a day later, Henry, apologised, which was kind of cool. And then Spurs pulled out, and then it was just kind of like the domino effect, just in full effect there. And then you saw Atletico Madrid pull out, and then you saw because they're the only Spanish side that have actually pulled out yet, Atletico Madrid, and then the Italians pulled out, AC Milan, and then I think it was Juventus, and then Inter Milan after that. No, Juventus didn't pull out; they're still there. And so it's only got 3 teams left. Real Madrid, who Florentino Perez, as we've seen in the last day or so, is still coming out saying is going ahead. They signed a contract, it's going ahead. Barcelona are still willing to and it's understandable when you consider the debt rate. I read about this. £1.2 billion in debt. Wow. As eye-watering. And also Juventus. They're the 3 sides that still haven't pulled out yet. But as you were alluding to at the start there, before I rudely interrupted you there, Perez is still talking about how it's still going to go ahead.
Yeah.
And
I'm aware. He's just he just wants to bulldozer ahead. And I think even clubs that weren't invited, like for example, I think Carlo Ancelotti said, for example, if Everton were invited, they would want to be invited on merit. If I was playing, I would want to be invited and qualify on merit to, for example, the Champions League, etc., etc. He was talking about merit and achieving something, not just be yeah. It's a strange thing because even Daniel Levy hasn't apologized. He just said, I think it's like one line or two lines from the club, or was it his own word, something along the lines of
he regrets the
he regrets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What can you say to that? It's just
yeah.
Basically, all he's saying is that it's a good idea, but kind of regret the way it's made you feel. That's it. Basically, they're saying that it kind of leaves the door open, doesn't it, for them to come back later on and say, okay, they all hated it, not because they didn't like the fact that you're just there collecting money, don't pass go, don't go to jail, collect £200 each time. It's all monopoly. They're saying that the fans are not angry about that. They're angry because we didn't talk about it. That's going to be the next thing. They're going to start. There's going to be like a big PR. It will come back again, wouldn't it? I'm sure that it will. And they're going to try to put us forward again. Perez obviously really wants to. Agnelli also really wants to. And so you can see it coming back. Maybe not. Well, there's only like a couple of months left of the season, but at some point, maybe later on next season, we'll see another push for it. I think so.
I think so as well. At the moment, it's gone a bit quiet, but I think there must be a reason why these clubs want to join. Financial gain, and secondly, whatever club is going to join, whether it's going to go ahead, you need to ask the fans. What do they think? You can't just make a decision. Well, to be honest, football clubs are like businesses. If they're going to do a price increase on tickets or something like anything to do with the club, they'll just do it. They won't contact you in advance. It will be like a shock. It's inflation, they'll call it, or it's in line with, the costs of running a club. But they won't say that.
No, true.
But I think things happened. The financial package must be that great that it just sounds like a ridiculous idea because it's not really a competition. What they're saying is, didn't the UEFA president say that it's ridiculous? It's a ridiculous idea. Is it Alexander Seferin?
Yeah, Seferin.
Yes, yeah, very intelligent guy, and the way he said it is like, it's ridiculous. We would not back this. It's not. It's not even sportsmanlike. It's like joining like like a club. What's it called? Like you join like a special golf club, members only club. You see, if you've got that golden ticket, you got that gold card, you're let in. If not, you may never be let in. So I feel that it's a bad idea. But in terms of Tottenham Hotspur, they wanted Daniel Levy out and the Enric group for such a long time. This is just helping them along the way. By doing a petition and saying 90% of fans or whatever want him out, it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Well,
I'm not saying I want him in or out. Well, you would, the way he's behaved over the years. I know it's not going to happen because I'm realistic. A petition doesn't do much. Whether it's a quiet, civilized protest like Tottenham did, or a bit of a hoo-ha like Arsenal did, I think I saw it. Very different to Spurs. I think they compared it. A few signs at Spurs, wasn't it? Outside the stadium. compared to it was like, there's a concert going on and they're just dying to get in.
Yeah, I think in the case of Arsenal's protest, I mean, it's pretty much like a culmination of 10 years of the issues that they've had with Stan Kroenke that's come to the fore, and this was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, really, wasn't it? So the Super League idea. So that's why
they've got their own issues. They're not happy with their squad. They're not happy with their manager. They're not happy with their results.
Yeah, and whereas ours were a bit more. It's only just taken. I think I mentioned it on the group as well. It's only just taken this kind of the Super League idea for fans like me, I'd say, who can see the good that Levy has done, and also see the bad that he's done. But
yeah, of course, he's a very intelligent businessman. He knows what he's doing. He's shuffled a lot of contracts around to make a lot of good things happen, which we don't see, behind the scenes. But all we see is, he wants the maximum for this player. He paid 5 million. He wants 50 million. He paid 1.5 million for Michael Carrick, but he wants 35 if he's going to Man United. And he won't take anything less. But the thing is, he got a premium manager on paper with Mourinho. I don't think Mourinho did that badly. Yes, it's frustrating at times, but we agree on it. It's down to the players in majority that he's got to work with. They're not fighters or quality. They're not fighters. They're not the right type of player. Every fan has got players they like. It's not that I don't like all the players. I know which ones got the ability to stay and the ones that should have left 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
it's I
suppose we can link on to Mourinho in that because his sacking came 24 hours after Spurs announced the Super League. Spurs announced all the announcements word for word the same thing. So it's just some kind of copy and paste kind of thing. So what was your thoughts on Mourinho's sacking? Was it because to me, to a lot of people, and especially when you got a final coming up, it just seemed like it was an idea of trying to take it's almost like throwing like the dead cat thing. Just throw a dead cat in the middle of the table, so everyone's like, "Oh, look at that!" Then look at what's going over there. It was trying to try to take the heat off the joining of the Super League thing. So they just go back everyone's getting a bit angry. Okay, let's sack Mourinho because at least 51% of the Spurs fans don't like him. So that'll give us an easy win. That's kind of like how it seemed, and because although Spurs having a bit of bad form at that point in time, but to sack a manager like Mourinho, of Mourinho's caliber, who knows how to win in finals.
I would say he's that one-off game specialist in a final. And I think, poor results if you look at it on paper. But if you add all his 56, 57 games together, the form is a top 4. If you add the points, they'd be finishing in the top 4, or they'd be a top 4 team potentially. And he got the best out of Kane and Son. They've not scored that many goals that quickly, and Son's already got a personal best. Yes, he's seems to isolate certain players, but I don't think he has. Those players that were isolated aren't performing. Gareth Bale, is he really performing, or is it nostalgia? Oh yes, it's the Gareth Bale. He scores 1 goal. Now, he does well in moments. Dele, I think he was injured and he's got other issues. I think he played his best team that he could. He even gave on Dombele game after game, and made Sissoko sit on the side. And then I think it's all personal, isn't it? Everyone's got their favorite starting lineup. It's not going to be the same. I just think Mourinho was a scapegoat for bad performances, and then they got rid of him. And hopefully Ryan Mason gets us, wins, they'll be like forgotten. Like, it was a good idea to get rid of him because look what's happened. Young 29-year-old's been able to manage us for X amount of games up till June, and the morale looks good. But personally, I thought our tempo against Southampton was good for about 20 minutes, but it's the same we played the same. Against Everton as well. The tempo was good, and the tempo was good against Saints. But then we dropped off, and we let that go in. It's the same defense. It's the same team. same Mourinho had.
Yeah.
You know, the superstars, the ones we've been raving to see, like Reguilon. I don't think he's performing. I think he's too weak on the ball, but he's got the pace. You know, we don't know what. You know, Ben Davies is injured, isn't he, or something?
Yes.
Ben Davies is reliable. Yes, he may make mistakes, but I've never seen him get muscled off the ball.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, it's a personal thing. It's just something I see Reguilon, great player, potentially, but he's too weak on the ball and he loses the ball too much. But I think generally it was the same team that Mourinho would put out if he was managing that game against Southampton, and we still got problems. But I know we won. We just scraped through. You know, you can't say, "Oh yeah, we played really well. We deserved it. We outplayed Southampton."
In the second half, we kind of did. I think that first half was kind of like how we
was frustrated.
Yeah, well, it's more than frustrating.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was like, is this any better than what apparently Mourinho got out of them?
So I'd like to know what he said at half time, because that was a completely different Spurs that came out. And we actually pinned. I know people were saying that Southampton were dropping off because they were tired and whatnot, this, that, and the other. But we still put pressure on Southampton.
They haven't had the greatest season, but it's just, I just think, they played well. I want to say Walker Peters he caught Reguilon out, and luckily it was cleared because Walker Peters just, whatever, chipped him or took a shot. I feel we won't know who we're going to get. We've got Ryan Mason at the moment. We've got rid of Jose Mourinho. Even in theory, there aren't many managers who are born winners, who've got trophies, who are available, and who are able to speak English and be able to communicate with the players.
What do you take?
Allegri can't speak a word of English. Nagelsmann, I doubt it. He wants to come to Spurs.
Apparently,
Hansi Flick.
I don't know if you saw in the group. Somebody actually posted. I think it was probably Mike. If you're watching, Mike, how you doing? Actually, he posted that Nagelsmann was actually a follower of Spurs back in the day. He's only like 33.
So was Tuchel. Tuchel was a Tottenham fan, because that's the only team you could see on TV. That shows that the little place he lived in Germany, that Tottenham were the only team that. He's a fan. Yeah, sorry, you were saying about.
Yeah, no. So basically, if he said that, and also said that that Nagelsmann is open to the idea of coming to Spurs, and that if put to him, he might consider it. So I know there's been talk about him just eyeing the Bayern Munich job, but the Bayern Munich job isn't actually there. Let's talk about Hansi Flick handing in his resignation or whatever, but that talk about Nagelsmann was happening long before Flick even decided to hand in a resignation. So I don't actually think the Bayern Munich job is actually there or not. So if he is looking to come to England, he is coming to, and now we haven't got any Super League. He actually was actually going to take part in a UEFA affiliated tournament. Yeah, but he might come along.
Maybe. But I'm saying there's not many options of up and coming. It's like saying we could even get Graham Potter in. I'm sure he'd do a great job. He's worked with some, he worked in Sweden, didn't he?
He did, yeah. For
was it Sweden? Yeah. Oh no, sorry, Norway. Yeah. I think so. Norway.
No, they're Swedish. They're Swedish.
And of course, No, I'm giving an example. If you want someone up and coming, they're talking about Nuno, but is Nuno any different? Is Nuno's style any different to Mourinho's? Not that much.
Not really.
No, Portuguese style is generally down the middle. Yeah, hopefully, it's just frustrating. We've seen it for the last 2 years. It's the players I'm talking about. It's just frustrating. People just deflect it. Oh yeah, but Kane's playing well and so on. but are they? Yes,
Yeah.
they're scoring goals, but they're not winning anything. Kane will score 100 goals from now to the end of his career for Spurs. But will he win anything? It's dubious to me because you don't need world-class players. You just need people who are 100% committed. They don't need 10 Sons. We don't need 10 Kanes.
Need good team players, yeah.
I'll just take 10 Gary Mabbitts out of that, or someone like that. Okay, Toby, I think even Ryan prefers Toby with Eric Dyer. Which fair enough. I'll play Toby with Sanchez if it was up to me, but I'm not the manager.
Yeah.
Sanchez, if you look at the mistakes Sanchez made in his whole career, probably less than Dyer's made.
True. Yeah, very true.
Far less. But I just think it's frustrating because fans want Levy and the consortium out. They wanted Mourinho out. And of course, I understand why they're against the European Super League or the Super League. But yeah, at the moment, I just think there's still a lot to play for in this season. Finish where you can in the league. Try and win the cup. I just hope if Kane is on 70%, that he doesn't play, because what happened in the Champions League? He wasn't 100%, and Lucas had to sit on the bench when he was red hot, ready to go. I'm not saying do that, but we've got Carlos Vinicius available, like for like. He deserves.
I was actually surprised that Vinicius didn't play against Southampton.
It was weird because if you've got a striker, play him. If it doesn't work, take him off after 45 minutes. You won't lose anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I feel very sorry for Vinicius, really. The way he's
So do I. He's come in.
Playing the season.
Even what's his name? William Jose. He's gone to Wolves. He's found it hard, but he keeps on grinding away, and he got his first goal, didn't he? He scored the other day. I think he did. 13 games or something. He scored his first goal, but that's the thing. If you get a player on loan, I know they're missing their main striker, Raul Jimenez, but he has to play. But in a way, if Kane's injured, wouldn't you play the backup striker?
Yeah.
And of course, play Son. Nothing on Son because he works hard. He scores goals. He's got that X factor. And then, play Bale. If Ryan Mason thinks it's better to play Bale ahead of Bergwijn and Lucas, do it. I think it's hard, isn't it? Because who's our attacking midfielder? Is it on Ndombele, or is it going to be Bale, or is it going to be Lucas? Because at the end of the day, if Dele's available, I'll just play Dele and maybe play on Ndombele with Sissoko, or Sissoko with Hoyer, and there's,
True, very true.
It's hard to see. I can see where we're going wrong, but I'm not always right. But I think the fans want entertainment from every player. If Sissoko plays, they say he doesn't offer anything at all. He's not exciting. He hasn't got the X factor. He doesn't make you jump out your seat.
He doesn't.
He does excite me because he's always up and down. He's got the energy. Okay, he's not going to score many goals. He can tackle and he can run with the ball. I think it's hard. We've got too many similar players, haven't we, in other positions? So we try and find areas for them to play in. So I just feel that Mourinho could have just carried on for a bit longer. Some people are saying he was so against this European Super League thing, or the idea of it, so he would have resigned anyway before he got sacked or something like that. It's unless you hear him say something straight from his mouth, you can't really say this or that. Because he, from the normal Mourinho, when he was interviewed by Sky Sports, he seemed happy and jolly. He didn't seem angry. He just said, "I've got nothing to say." He just smiled and said, So I think don't know, someone said to him, I'm sure you'll find something to do in football. He said, yeah, I'm sure I'll be involved in football in some way. I thought it was a bad idea to get rid of him. He wasn't even doing a full season. Yeah, he wasn't even doing a full season, was he?
No.
A bit of Poch's patch-up season,
in
which we really struggled with injuries, and he patched us up.
Yeah.
I know we put out who we could put out, and this season we've had injuries and lack of form. Players we thought would perform that haven't performed. Yeah, it's been strange, isn't it? Strange to find that balance of consistency. It's because they're saying, oh, he's chopping and changing it, but if someone's not performing, you don't keep on playing them game in, game out.
That's true.
Harry Kane's not performing, but we would still play him, wouldn't we? Because he's the one. He's without him, we can't win games, but I'm sure we can.
That's the thing. It's even if a player is not on form, we still seem to stick him in the hope that he picks up his form.
But is Son even in form? He's not. He's been out of form for don't know how many games.
A long while, yeah.
I say the same thing every season. 6 games on, 15 games off. He's somewhere else. They're saying, oh, yeah, get Son's dad in. If Son's dad was that good, he would have turned him into a winner in Germany, a winner in England. He hasn't. His training methods are good to a small extent. It's a bit like every manager. They can only push you so much, but you have to get the results.
Yeah, true.
I just think Son, he can improve a lot. Everyone loves him. I love him, but he can improve a lot. He's still selfish. He can score more goals. He can do more. But I think he was just down. He was down. You could tell he just seemed down. I think, was he embarrassed? The fact that he went down with that challenge, that is what a player does. They put your hand up. He went down totally. Maybe it's a foul. Is it a sending off? Is it a yellow? Is it that? Imagine if, I don't know, an Arsenal player did it. We'll be like, yeah, he's done that. Son is known for being emotional. You've seen him. He's emotional when he got sent off by mistake against Everton. You know that tackle on Gomez, which was overturned. Then he had another issue when he did something and he got emotional. I think he was frustrated under Mourinho, but Mourinho played him a lot. What else could Mourinho do for him? Of course, Kane is generally he says what he wants, but generally I think Kane comes across as professional as he can, even if he doesn't like something. He tried to find the positives. He said he liked his time working with Mourinho, but that's the best I've seen Harry Kane ever play. So I've seen him. Yes, in terms of goals, he's had better seasons, but overall, if you like the player who can assist, score goals, if he's defending, he's attacking. Yes, I'd love it if he just stayed in the box a bit more, be even more dangerous. But that's still to come. He's 27, 28, so next season he may go back to revert back, and we may find an attacking midfielder or create like Dele Alli to play behind him, or Ndombele may have a season where he scores 15 goals. You can't be too harsh on Ndombele, but I just think he's playing out of position. He's playing in position. He's an attacking player. You can't rein him in to play alongside someone like Sissoko or Højbjerg because they're just ball winners. They pass it around. Even Højbjerg, great at breaking the game up. We'd love to see more, but I don't think we will. That's just his game.
That's his game, yeah.
Simple. Trained at Bayern Munich, through Bayern Munich, he learnt the game. So, So I just feel that, let's see. I think Ryan can only do a certain amount with the players he's got. He's got the same players Jose had, but he may give Bale more time. Who else can he give more time to? Some people say Harry Winks should get more time, but where are you going to fit all these players in?
Winks actually played all right on against Southampton. Actually,
yeah, that's his level.
Yeah.
No, not in a bad way. That is his level. Southampton playing against Ward-Prowse was a far better midfielder, and he had a good game playing against Ward-Prowse, against whoever else was in their midfield. Because most teams are struggling, but I think a lot of teams, even the top teams, they can afford to change it. Man City can afford to change their keeper, even though he made a mistake. Then you make a mistake in the FA Cup or somewhere. The Man City keeper.
Possibly.
I can't remember anyone. Yeah. The American keeper, he came out.
Stefan.
Yes, Stefan, yeah.
Yeah,
I think we got more. I think we've got to worry about I'm not worried about the final. I think we'll win. If we don't win, it's down to what? The mentality to win, or is it nerves? Is it the players? It's not if we're going to get into finals year in, year out. If we're going to finals year in and out and we lose the odd final, but yeah, fair enough. We've had 10 finals. We've won 8. Come on. We're not invincible.
I think we've only had 10 finals in the last 30 years or something. It's just.
I'm just giving an example. Even as good as Man City are, they're yet to crack the Champions League. I think this is the furthest Pep's got with Man City in the Champions League, isn't it?
No, he's been to the semi-final against
Spurs. Yeah, and now. Yeah, I think
this will be his second semi-final. I think.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, I think, to be honest, as people say, Mourinho comes off as a very, he'll isolate players publicly, but people who have spoken about him privately say he's a great guy off the pitch when he's at home communicating with people, or if he's at an official dinner or awards, he's really himself. But when you're at work, I suppose you have to change. I think some managers like Poch, he was the same. It's the same with the players, the same with on the TV. A lot of managers are different, in person than they are on the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you see Neil Warnock being nice to everyone on the pitch? No. He just didn't, for example, I don't see many managers being the same. It's a competition. I think, end of the day, it's got him results. If he's on his only failure is Tottenham Hotspur, Jose Mourinho, that I can think of. What other failures has he had in his career?
Every other place he's been to, he's won trophies, and we did not have an opportunity to win a trophy.
Exactly. So if we'd kept him and he won the League Cup, he would have not been a failure. Then if you want to get rid of him for justified reasons, he just won a cup final, but I think we'll fire you now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just mind games, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess we should never know, really.
Should we do that?
But
some players next season will get shifted out, and we'll get 1 or 2 in.
But in terms of the final tomorrow, obviously Ryan Mason's second game with us. And considering the side that we could put out and the side that Man City could put out, because they have the semi-final of the Champions League, don't they, in the same week or so?
Yes.
Do you give us any hope at all?
Yeah. I've got a lot of hope for Tottenham Hotspur. It's just the team that Ryan wants to put out. We can't go man for man in each position. In goal, Pep may play his number one keeper. He is prone to mistake. Generally, if Hugo gets a start, which he will, he is generally a very good keeper. So in terms of keepers, it's pretty same. Right back, they've got a choice of right backs, haven't they? They've got Cancelo, they've got Kyle Walker. We've got, who have we got?
I don't remember anyone.
I think Serge is prone to a lot of mistakes. I like his attacking style, but he can't defend.
He's been alright this
But
season,
one
hasn't he?
thing that Doherty can do, he can defend. If he's just a central defender or defender, he can defend. What we are disappointed in Matt Doherty is the fact if the ball goes over the top, he hasn't got the pace to go on the turn and defend. But if he's defending face to face, he's going to intercept it. We've got Tanganga. He can play right back. I think he's ready. I don't know whether he'll get it. And then at left back, well, we've only got one choice. Reguilón, fantastic young player. Last season, he won the Europa League with Sevilla. We just haven't seen any form from him. I haven't seen any form. His best movement has been when he's got onto his right foot and crossed twice, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's had a couple of goals, moved from his left foot to his right foot and crossed it, and players have scored. I think man for man, we can't compete. But if we play together, I think we've got a good chance. 40% chance, maybe.
I'll take that for now. It's all about if we do create chances that we have to take them, really.
And one thing, I don't think Man City have got an out-and-out striker to choose from, unless they play Jesus, which they haven't been, which is really strange. He's stuck on the left wing as well. And they may play Foden up there, Gundogan. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Kevin De Bruyne can play in there. Someone's suspended, aren't they? Oh, yeah, John Stones is suspended.
Yeah.
It's as if it's like such a big blow. They've got Laporte. They've got Laporte, who, is kind of... They've got Nathan Ake, very good defender, but still very young, hasn't had much time. And, of course, you've got Diaz, which, he's a tackling and passing machine. I think I've got good hopes that we'll win tomorrow.
I was going to every
excitement, like that excitement when we played Chelsea in the League Cup. I had that thing. I said, we will win, but it'd be something special. It'd be like that, one of those moments where you don't expect Spurs and it'll just be like a one-off cross and we'll score. John Woodgate, it was a very good cross by Tom Huddleston, wasn't it? It was Huddleston, wasn't it, with a cross? Yeah, what a cross. That's what he could do. Just whip it in, and then he got a shoulder or a bit of his face on it, and we did it.
Extra time.
That squad we had lots of egos. Berbatov, no work rate, but he oozed that confidence, that he could, turn a player in at the corner flag. Robbie Keane worked hard. We had a pretty good squad.
Yeah,
and it was Juande Ramos, of all managers, negative, not very exciting football, but he won us a trophy.
That's all I cared about then.
And then
at that point, it was literally 9 years since we won a trophy, and I did not care how he played.
Because he was working with Freddie Canute, because Freddie Canute had left, gone to Sevilla, won a couple of trophies.
True.
Freddie Canute, he went, all right, then fine. You don't want me, I'll go to Spain, and I went trophy. Yeah. He was. That's the thing. It's so different managing in Spain than managing in the Premier League. I can't think of many successes. Even Carlo Ancelotti, if you think about it, he went to Chelsea for a very small period of time, and he won things. He went to Bayern Munich and he won. But yeah, the difference is Ancelotti doesn't speak. He's not that verbal. But when he gets angry, you see it very rarely in interviews. He gets really angry, doesn't he? He's like, this European Super League, this isn't football. He said, this isn't football. This is like, it's like a special boys club, isn't it? Like, you're invited, but it's very hard to get in without an invite. So what do you think is going to happen? Are you confident we're going to win?
Yeah, as I said a moment ago, I'm always confident when we get into a final. I mean, I try to project that confidence anyway. Since 2008, that was a good night. We then had the League Cup final the next season, and
yes, we did. Yeah,
we absolutely destroyed
under Harry Redknapp on penalties.
Yeah,
Jamie O'Hara on this one. I think they all missed a penalty.
Yeah, actually destroyed them in the game, but we couldn't score, and we lost on
Yeah, I was so
penalties.
frustrated because we played such good football.
Yeah,
I
and
know
then
for a 0-0 to go to penalties, I'm going to say it was exciting because we gave Man United a game and they went to penalties, and it's kind of we didn't freeze. It's just they were like pop, 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 as if where we used to score.
well,
That
though,
confidence of Man United is gone now.
I do
It's
have the feeling that that on that particular occasion that Man United were actually playing for penalties because they came
yeah,
out the whole 120 minutes. They just sat back and defended.
yeah,
That they very rarely attacked. So I think they were confident they'll beat us in penalties, and that's why they play that way. I think. And literally, and that was our last final until what the Champions League. We've been to numerous semi-finals since then in the League Cup and the FA Cup
yeah.
and
Under Mauricio Pochettino,
Argentina.
it took
Yeah,
him a
and
while to
then
get to semi-final of a competition. It took Mourinho what
well, not
one.
really. No, we got to a final, didn't we? I forgot about that. The League Cup final in his first season was his first season. Yeah, it was his first season
Oh, it
where
was.
yeah we lost to Chelsea.
We always lose to
Um,
Chelsea.
yeah, playing Son at left. I mean, this is
Yes,
a weird thing.
me and you, I can't forget it because it's in my mind. Left wing back.
Yeah,
I was like, isn't Danny Rose available? Apparently
yeah.
not. Isn't Ben Davis available? Apparently not.
That's the thing.
Jan Vertonghen could have done it. Maybe he was
And
injured.
we got to these big games with under Pochettino. Yeah,
Yeah,
he did very well, but in big games,
don't perform. We don't
always found
perform.
wanting. And
It's it's
when
mentality, nervousness mentality. You can't
yeah,
always blame the players. We've had better players previously. I remember when we first qualified for Champions League under Harry Redknapp. We played some good football. We had Peter Crouch, we had Luka Modric, we had Van der Vaart. We played some good football. But when Real Madrid came and Adebayor came on loan at Real Madrid, he made us look average.
because we just went down. We just kind of like
Yeah,
again. Down,
we
I
played
didn't say
good
it's down to
football
the
against Real
manager
Madrid,
really.
but they just knew how to finish. They just had
Well,
that.
we rarely had a chance, and
I
then
know.
obviously Peter Crouch got sent off, and that was it, literally. But we,
Oh yeah.
I mean, under those kind of managers, yes, we get that far, and then suddenly it's like there's like a panic. We just have to
Yeah, in
try and
hindsight, things sound, oh, this could have happened, that could have happened.
that's and
If
that's what happened.
Yo wasn't fired, we don't know what he could have done, but
Well,
Yo
I think,
changed. He changed a lot. He got us to a position that we hadn't seen in a long time, finishing in sixth, seventh, fifth.
but even
Yeah.
him in the big games, he kind of
He
panicked.
didn't. Yeah,
Because the one game that actually sticks out for me, which I always remember, and it's kind of like speaks a lot about how he dealt with those kind of matches. Was the FA Cup? Was it fifth round against Chelsea?
yeah.
Where we went to Stamford Bridge. We absolutely destroyed Chelsea in that first half. We went to the halftime. I only remember Hossam Ghali scoring the third goal. Though. I liked him. I know a lot of Spurs fans didn't like him because of the way. But
Yeah, he did that. But
I kind of liked him as a player, and he
I
scored the
liked
third
Gali as a
goal.
play. He dug in.
Yeah. And we went into that halftime 3-1. It was good.
I remember. It just told.
And then the second half, we did what we kind of did with under Yol in those kind of games. We sat back and we tried to defend
I
for the whole
remember we
45
just sat
minutes.
back as if like say Michael Brown, stay here. I don't know if it's Michael Brown. Give an example. Michael Brown, Michael Carrick, Zakora, for example. You three just sit there. Ball over the top.
You just,
for example, Shevchenko scores. I think Shevchenko was having a poor first half. I think Shevchenko scored. I think he was on loan. I think that's what his best performance is. He had a pretty poor time at Chelsea, but against Tottenham. Yeah, I remember. We just sat back.
Yeah, and that's kind of indicative of what he did in all the big games, and that was kind of like how, he changed our how we viewed games and how we went into games, but at the same time,
Yes. Yeah.
he did have a bit of the side of where he panicked in big games, and just kind of like we sat back and we just kind of try to hold on to what we had, and that always kind of backfired on us. And it's the same with Pochettino. We go into games, Well, we get as far in tournaments, and we go there playing our own style, which is what gets us there. As soon as we get to a semi-final or we get to a final, suddenly there's a panic that sets in, and we just suddenly start playing in a way that we haven't seen at all. And
we haven't seen it like all the way through the competition. We've been breezing through, and it's like, where does this performance come from? It's not even average. It's like we're scared. That's the thing. I think Pochettino, he liked to attack, but over-attack. And then we're saying Mourinho is too defensive. So what do you want? Someone who's defensive, and he tells the players to defend and attack when you need to, or play a manager
defend and break.
Attack.
That's what he does, yeah. And I mean, the one game apart from the Champions League final, the game that annoyed me was the semi-final of the FA Cup against Manchester United, where first of all, the lineup was, I don't know why he rested Hugo Lloris, but Vaughan was a pretty good keeper. So
he was a pretty good keeper against Spurs. All that sitting on the bench for like months on end, it's not good for a first choice keeper at Swansea, wasn't he? He didn't sit on the bench. I think that ruins them. It ruins this. Yes, Vaughan made mistakes, but what do you expect him to be super fit, alert, if he's sitting on the bench for 13 months?
I think that sitting on the bench is what kind of like made his mistakes in the semi-final.
I know.
It was just kind of it's little things like that. I know that the 2 goals that United scored were individual mistakes. I mean, Vaughan making that mistake, and then Dembele giving the ball away straight to, I can't remember.
Dembele giving the ball away. That's rare.
Yeah, so there was 2 individual mistakes, but at the same time, the lineup was not. It was just like a real panic from Pochettino. They had no need to do that. Then in the final of the Champions League, of course, was the playing of. I know people say, "Oh, it's Harry Kane. You can't just drop him. Keep him on the bench. He wasn't fit." Yeah,
you can drop Robert Lewandowski and still win games without a striker. Bayern Munich can do it.
And we should have played Lucas from the start.
Lucas was red hot. He changed. He totally changed that semi-final. I've never seen a player change a semi-final in Champions League like that. Whether it's Ajax, whether it's whoever it is, we're out the window and I've got a feeling if we get 1 goal, we'll get another one. But I didn't expect it. I had hope, but I would have just played him. I said, give him for 45 minutes. He'll be a nuisance.
Yeah, exactly.
End of the day, Liverpool haven't even got a striker. They're playing Firmino, who was an attacking midfielder all his career. It's just he's the only one they want to use as a forward. Before he came to the Premier League, so why can't Lucas do it? Far better player, I think. If he played game in, game out, Lucas's goal output would be far better. But in hindsight, I just Harry Kane.
So there's one thing so there's one thing there's little things like that. With these kind of managers, Harry Redknapp, Pochettino is they play the Spurs.
Attractive football.
But when it comes to the big games, they panic, and that panic always costs us. Whereas we're bringing managers like Juan de Ramos.
I was just hoping that Jurgen Klinsmann would be interim manager.
No, I don't want Klinsmann. He'll be the same as Redknapp and Pochettino, the big player manager.
Yeah, in theory, people say name someone else. I say, well, what about Klinsmann? What about Ledley King? And I said, what about Ryan Mason or someone on Twitter? And they said, maybe Ryan Mason could be a good idea. But before this even happened, when people were saying, oh, it looks like he's going, yeah, I know Klinsmann would be the same as what we've had, but
so that's what I'm saying. That's
just because he's won everything in his life doesn't mean he's a good manager. Look like Glenn Hoddle, such a great player, well, a good player, but as a manager, didn't really do much. At Saints, okay. At Chelsea, okay. At Spurs, at Swindon, at England. Do you know what I mean? People crap over the fact he was a great player, but as a manager, I just think Ryan's got the job, hasn't he? And he's got the support staff of Chris Powell, very experienced. Chris Powell, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got experience as a player. He's had a couple of management jobs. And I think Ledley King's available as well, isn't he, on Sports Star?
But yeah, just to finish what I was saying before that. So when we get in managers like one day Ramos who have won things in a very pragmatic style, but have won trophies, then we get in Mourinho, who's won things in a pragmatic style, but he's won things. I mean, that's surely that's what we need to to get that winning mentality into our heads. Surely that's what you need, a manager who knows how to tactically get a team to do what they need to do in order to win a trophy. That's what we need. I mean, it's all very well good playing flair fantasy football where you've got nothing to
I'm
show
bored
for
of that. I got bored of that in the 90s.
Yeah, it's poor. I mean, I just can't. It's just
it's good to have, like, say, for example, a flair player like Son, but then you need someone who's going to put a tackle in, like Wanyama. Didn't really work out. Højbjerg's come from Saints as well. He's looking like he's more consistent. That's what I'm saying. Have a couple of flair players. They all got one. Have Dele Alli being a flair player. You can have Lo Celso. Why is he playing? Is he any better than Winks? Probably not.
Well, I don't know. He hasn't really shown anything in the match.
Lo Celso doesn't offer anything. Lamella offers a bit more because he's, don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's just like personal choices. It keeps Lo Celso and on the team sheet. Nothing against him. I just think he doesn't offer anything. He's not the same player he was at PSG. He's not the same player he was at Betis. He needs time as well. We should never got rid of Jedson Fernandez. He would have been a good utility player. But we never got to see that.
Hardly
ever played. And it killed the confidence of a 21-year-old by just not using him. But
yeah, exactly. The squad's been a mess. Really. We need a proper look at it in the summer. We really do.
Proper clear out. Some players we can't help if they want to leave because they're better than others, and if they want to leave, we can't stop them. But the players we want to get rid of, hopefully, we can get some good money for them. And I just hope if Harry's fit, like even if he's 70%, should we play him? I don't know. I don't think 70% with the persistent injuries to his ankle and things like that, it has a toll on him. It takes him longer to recover. Wouldn't you just rather wait and have a raring Harry Kane ready for next season and just use what you got on the bench? You got Vinicius, you've got other players that can play in there. Even Dele can. I don't know how fit Dele is. Dele should be given a chance as well.
Yeah, well,
the problem is people love Dele. I loved him when he scored like 18 goals in the Premier League. After that, he hasn't done anything. Remember, he had that season he set like 18 or 21 goals in the Premier League. He had a ridiculously good season. Of course, injuries have happened and other things personally, and he's never been the same. One season, one great season Dele's had. It's hard to be consistent, isn't it? As a striker, and Harry Kane's done it. Aguero's does it most of the time. Other players have done it. Alan Shearer, Henry, even Van Persie didn't do it that many times, but when he did, when he got into that form, he ended up winning a title with Man United. You see, that's what disappoints me. Harry Kane scores all those goals and he's got nothing to show for it. It's a bit disappointing.
Well, apparently top four is all that is needed.
It's not a trophy, though. I remember when we got it first time under Harry Redknapp, it was like, we've done it. It was an achievement, but next season you should be aiming for third, first, winning it, and then trying to stay at the top. I think players leave, form changes, but to be wishing for the top four every season now, we need to be aiming higher. But it's hard. We haven't really got the squad.
Well, we did.
No, Leicester, but they did it.
Yeah, true.
Chelsea, even Tuchel saying next season we have to really, really try and bully Man City, and try and break that ceiling and that distance they've created between us and Tottenham and Arsenal and Manchester United and Leicester, West Ham. Basically, I don't know what the points difference are, but I think West Ham, if they keep winning, they'll end up in the Champions League. They haven't done anything special. They've just taken a player who's been pushed out, like Jesse Lingard, who's been depressed, and he just found this solace now at West Ham where he's scoring goals, assisting, and he's happy.
Talk about the recruitment.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that we've gone into an hour now. We'll try to end it with the one bit I thought we'll come back to, which was the Super League, and I kind of picked up on the point where they said that where people are calling it the European Super League, but they're just highlighting it as the Super League, which has led me to kind of believe that eventually, especially as it's being run by the American owners as well, the plan is not just to keep it in Europe. That I have a feeling that if it does come into being and they do get their way, they'll stay in Europe for a couple of times. But as with the NFL, they're playing a couple of games up in London, haven't they, in Wembley or in our stadium.
Yeah.
That's what we see happen in the Super League, I think, as we will see a couple of Super League games taking place in America or whatnot. And then after a while, you might see teams from around the world being added to the Super League. So you get like America's best playing in the Super League. You get Australia's best playing in the Super League. Because the way it's kind of like stylized, it just kind of feels like it's going to be like a world tournament. And when Florentino Perez talked about FIFA's ban on players who play in the Super League not being able to represent their country, he then said something weird, was along the lines of, "That's okay, we'll do our own world tournament." That's why I'm kind of thinking that his plans or their plans for the Super League, that's where it might evolve into like one big massive Super League. And
I think if it's going to be a Super League, you pick just the best team from each country, like Man City. Don't have an Arsenal, don't have a Tottenham, don't have a Chelsea. Just pick one, see how it goes. Are you saying Australia's top team, France's, wherever, Spain, Ireland, Russia, however it works? I just think this, if they've been planning this for 2-3 years, do you really think it's going to fold this quickly just because fans aren't happy? I don't think. I think at some point it will quiet down and it'll probably resurface next season. I don't think they can ban players from playing for their country, and I think you're losing out on a lot, aren't you, by playing in that league? I don't know what happens to Champions League. It still goes ahead, doesn't it? Or there will be no Champions League.
It will go ahead, but without those teams, really, wouldn't it? It'll just be like you probably see a lot. I don't know if it was
better teams.
If those 6 teams did go through go to the Super League, then you'll probably see.
Yeah, you'll see Everton in there.
Everton.
The ones that are pushing. Leicester, we don't know. Leicester, you'd consider a top 4 team for the last couple of seasons, but they weren't picked. How did they pick Tottenham? I don't get it.
Prestige. We're a big name. And we've been kind of pushing our name throughout. The international Champions Cup.
It's not done on current form. On current form, West Ham will be in there. Leicester will be in there.
No, it's just literally just the prestige of it. We're a big name.
Prestige, and it's like some millionaires boys club.
Yeah, exactly.
I just found it strange when I saw Mourinho gone, European Super League protests. It's all going off. It affects the players because they don't know what's going to happen. But a lot of them, I think a lot of managers straight out have said, like Pep said, it's ridiculous. Carlo Ancelotti, I know Everton aren't in it. He said it's totally ridiculous. And then UEFA president said it's absolutely, in a way, it's disrespectful to European, the Champions League and to all the clubs in other leagues that work hard, because you don't know who's going to get. We don't know who is going to get into the top 4 each season. We don't even know who's going to finish top in England. I don't think until. Remember, Man United used to win it constantly.
Well, we kind of do.
Chelsea won it for a while, and then Arsenal, for example, and Leicester have won it. Blackburn have won it. Even Liverpool have won it during the pandemic, when we thought, oh, why don't they scrap it and then start fresh? It would given Tottenham a chance to win the Premier League. Mourinho would have had a whole season. Well, he basically had a whole season, and
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that one. But
yeah, he'll pop up somewhere, Mourinho, and he'll be successful. I'm not going to, no doubt in that. We didn't give him enough time. It's happened now. That was our one chance to work with Mourinho. Yes, the results were poor. His football wasn't to the liking of the majority of fans. But I think only small people say he should be motivating the players. But how much can he motivate them? He can't motivate them to become winners. He can only say, I want Harry to play up front. I want Son on the left. I want Lucas behind him. And I want us to attack. And
he can motivate them to a point where he'll say, obviously just tell them what's at stake, or how he thinks they can evolve. I mean, that's kind of like what he's done with Kane, where he's kind of like stuck with other players, Ndombele, for example, and a few others where also the motivation is not really working as such. I guess that is kind of plain for everyone to see. But I mean,
but some players need to be bollocked and some players need to be loved. On Ndombele needed a good bollocking, and it made a lot of difference. What they're saying is Dele needed an arm around his shoulder instead of whatever it was done to him. Or Paul Pogba came out and said, Ole hasn't done this to me, but Mourinho dug me out. But why did Mourinho dig you out, Paul? Because at the end of the day, you weren't a world-class player. You still aren't. You have peaks. Yes, peaks and troughs. I know you went around it. Mourinho did it in a very bad way. He treated him very badly or whatever he did. He can't... Poch, he loved all his players. Arm around their shoulder, blah, blah, blah. I think Mourinho... You can't... Some players need more help than others. I think he tried. I think he really tried to work with them all, but some didn't like his harsh words.
Yeah, and I guess he's paying the price for it now. So I guess we'll see what's basically going to do these 6 games and what happens next season. But I
think we'll do well in the remaining games, and I think we'll win tomorrow. It's a starting point. If we can win a League Cup, maybe we can dream one day to win the FA Cup, and one day maybe win a European trophy, and then maybe in 5 seasons, win the Premier League. That is realistic. You can't expect, Mourinho's come in, we're going to win the title, we're going to win the Europa League. Yeah, we have to get back down to earth. We need to win something first. And if it's the League Cup, it's a good start. I think if we win the League Cup, it's fantastic.
True, very true.
I don't know who we think we are. We think we're like Real Madrid or something, or Barcelona, or AC Milan in the 80s when Ancelotti was winning everything as a player. We were great.
It's kind of confusing, really, because I'm quite sure what it is at Spurs, most Spurs fans.
Yeah, do you understand what I mean?
Because we actually talk about
great. We played great football, but we had nothing to show for it for such a long time.
Well, the thing is, I mean,
stuff, and then we'd have that pedigree, like, oh yeah, they put it in, and
that's what I mean. Is kind of like I mean, Spurs fans say, oh, you need to play brilliant football, and then when it comes to like the trophy part, like, oh, we need to win a trophy, but then it's like, oh, the swings over to the qualifying for the Champions League is more important. I just don't get what it is.
You have to have 3 or 4 different pages open. Yes, qualify for the Champions League, win this trophy, go far in this trophy. Everything goes into one pot. Yes, Champions League. Oh, I'm so disappointed. we got beaten 3-0 by Basel or whoever beat us, for example, or we got beaten 7-0 by Coventry or something in the FA Cup. You see what I mean? We put everything into one basket. We should be realistic. Yes, we're in 4 competitions. Realistically, we can win all 4. Let's go all in. But to do that, we need to rotate our players. Kane can't play 54 games in a season. He can't. Have Vinicius for all the cup games, even the European games. Maybe not Champions League, maybe all the cup games. Vinicius, whoever the backup striker is. And then for every position, have the backup player. On the left wing, if Son's not playing, play Bergwijn. If Bale's not playing, play Lucas, blah, blah, blah. We've got enough players, but we haven't got enough players of quality to fill it. It's that defence, we haven't got enough players to fill a backup, let alone a good player. People are talking about we need to get a keeper in as well.
That's what Lloris leaves, I guess.
Yeah. If I was Lloris, I'd just be like, well, I've been here. I've been trying for you. In the same time, I've become a World Cup winner with less better players.
Yeah.
That France squad wasn't like, oh, wow, it was hard-working. Yes, they had some very good young talents, but they all worked together and won it. Yeah, I'm just hoping for a win tomorrow, and I'm positive. I'm positive about all the players. It's just certain players just annoy me, but it's not their fault. They're the ones that are getting picked to play. But if you were a player, you'd be dying to play, wouldn't you? Whether the fans like you, but yes, I want to play. I know I'm hated by X, Y, and Z, but I want to play. So you can't blame the players; they get picked. I think Ryan Mason will put out his strongest team, and we all may just be so happy with it. We know what players were available. It's just tweaking, isn't it? Oh, he may play against it. It's just everything is. Oh, if Kane doesn't play, we're doomed. We're not. We've got a backup striker, and worst comes to worst, we've got Lucas. Son, I don't know if he can play up front because he can't. I don't know. He finds it hard to look forward, and when the ball's played over the top, I think most of he's probably got 2 or 3 goals ever playing straight down the middle, scoring. It's always off the wing. Always goals. He's trying to work something off the wing. I haven't seen him score a goal over the top. I think once or twice ever. But yeah, we won against Saints. That's great. I thought Vinicius could have started.
Should have done well. Yeah,
a draw would have been fair. If you look at the performance, a draw would have been fair, but a win was really important. But we won. That's the main thing. And so what time's kickoff tomorrow?
Kickoff is 4 p.m.
Yeah. So there'll be a build-up, won't there? There'll be a build-up on Sky, or it's on Sky, isn't it? It's not on BBC. League Cups are not anymore. It used to be.
Probably on Sky, yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, we were going to do a live stream, but I'm lucky enough to have gotten the tickets. So
and sit all by yourself in an empty stadium, right?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
We're doing a match vlog for that, so watch out for that tomorrow evening. Hopefully,
it'll
be
get more views than doing a live stream. But by you doing like a watch along live, you're going to get more views. Think about it. More people will be like, "Oh, he's there." In general, it should get more views. If you're at Everton away or Swansea in the cup, you'd imagine. But some people, it's good to do.
Provided we win, that is, anyway.
Yeah. If you win, it'll be a very long video. If you lose, it'll be like, "Oh, sorry, low battery, cut out, sorry."
But so basically, we have for everyone there, we had to cancel the live stream because obviously we'll be doing the match day vlog tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll probably do one soon.
We'll do a we've got about 5 games left of the season.
We'll find a good game that we can guarantee a win, and then we'll live stream that one.
Chances are we'll definitely have the Leicester game, which will be the last game of the season, so that'll be on the live stream. But we'll look.
That'll be a good game.
Maybe for like 1 or 2 games in between then to do a live stream on. And so hopefully you guys will be able to join us and hopefully
comment,
enjoy that.
Comment, subscribe.
Comment, subscribe, and tell us what you think about the points we've raised here. Obviously, the Super League is dead and buried. Mourinho's gone. You happy with any of those? Do you think that the Super League will come back in any kind of shape or way or form? And also, how do you think we'll do in the League Cup final tomorrow? Just comment below and let us know what you think. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Hopefully you enjoyed this Rantz video, everybody, and we shall hopefully see you in a couple of weeks for the next match day live stream. But we'll drop the match vlog video later tomorrow night or Monday morning for you. So from me, Crisandro, it's goodbye from me, and from Bill.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a good day, and hopefully we'll win tomorrow and bring some smiles to disappointing faces.
Come on, you Spurs. You'll take care.